Moi la permission, comme ça je peux direct l'avoir sur mon ordi.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the team call today. And what day is it actually? It is Monday, August 7th. And great to have everybody here. We have some really great announcement to make. Étienne is going to help me a lot on this call. We're going to have Vivek that's going to say a few things also. I'm going to unmute Vivek also here. Here we go. But Étienne,
That one is a surprise.
I'm going to do one announcement before we get going. And that announcement is that I was just talking with Juan Carlos Barrios, who will be, and we will be determining the exact dates this week of his tour. So the reason why we couldn't do it before is because he's away on the Jeunesse Kids trip. So he was in the forest of the Ecuador, in the Amazon, about an 8-hour bus ride to get to the village where they were rebuilding a school and also an entire water tower, actually. And so amazing work that they did there. And then they were in the Galapagos Island, and now they're going to be back today. So we're going to be talking with him today to plan the exact trip. The details of the trip will be in communication with yourself. But what I wanted to bring up is that Jeunesse Kids is what Jeunesse does. It picks a country every year to do a major development, normally in a certain village, in regards to impacting the entire village, which ultimately impacts the children directly, mainly through school and food and things like that. And the country that's been chosen for this coming year in 2018 is India. So I wanted you, so when he told me about that, I thought, cool, good, that's good. I want to do some work in India. So that's going to be one thing that Jeunesse is going to do. Jeunesse Kids Project is in India in 2018. I don't have any of the details yet, but I do know that is the country that they chose. Now, we wanted, Étienne, you wanted to start off. You had a few ideas. I'm not sure if it's you or Vivek and the packs and all that.
Yeah, but so Rashka Bandhan to everybody. So happy Rashka Bandhan. So this is my Indie accent. Sorry about that.
And I forgot to say that. I even said, and I like that Rashka means protection and Bandhan means bond. I think that's super cool. I have to remind my brother about that.
Right. So yeah, we have few information regarding
I need to make a point here. You don't remind your spouses for this. It's only siblings.
Yeah, of course. That's funny.
So we have few details regarding the packages for the launch. So as you know, everybody, now the product are soon arriving, and we need to get ready regarding the packages. So what I'm going to do is I will share with you more information on the Facebook group and on the WhatsApp group regarding the packages, because you have some discount that are really important in India. So I think what we would like to show you is how you can have a bigger discount. If you buy a bigger package, you have a bigger discount, and how can you resell that, and how can you promote it also to your distributors in your teams, to your business partner. So one of the good way to do this is to look at the packages as an investment. And when you invest in your business, your other distributor will see, hey, this person is investing, this person is serious about it. So I want to do it like this person. Is there for the long term, is investing a good amount. So this is one of the good way to show your seriousness about Jeunesse. I think that Pierre can share with you all the good package that we have had in Canada and that we are having now at this moment in Canada and in Europe. So Pierre, while you're doing that, I will share after my screen so to show the package to everybody.
Sure. And basically, guys, the packages give rebates to the distributors. They give financial advantages, of course, as opposed to getting the products individually. You do not need to get a pack. Let's be very clear. That is important. It's a choice. Someone that has limited budget, and many people may choose to have a couple of serums, and that will give them the qualification for 100 points. But you do have, you know, certainly in regards to, I'm going to share U.S. funds, a $200 pack, a $500, an $1,100 pack. Also need to know that there'll be the packs you're going to be able to get now, but there will be an upgrade you can get to the higher pack later on, which is the Ambassador pack in late September. So there'll be the packs right now where people can get a rebate, make more money when they sell the products, and they can use it for demonstration purposes. And it really is three major purposes why someone gets a pack. Number one, they will get the pack because they can use the products on themselves. Number two, they're going to use it to demonstrate, so they have demonstration products. And number three, they're going to sell some of the products. So those are all the benefits in regards to getting a pack. They'll be able to do all of those things in a less expensive way. So Étienne, you're going to go through the packs.
So I have just here the packages to show you a bit how it's working. So first, for the basic packages, for the basic package, it's 100 points. So you have 1 serum, 1 day cream, 1 cleanser, and 1 boxes of instantly ageless. Then you have 5 travel points. So travel points, or when you accumulate a certain amount of travel points, you got the chance to go on certain incentive trips. So which is really good. Then you have here is the amount of money, 16,700 rupees. If you buy it individual product, okay, it will be 18,000 and something rupees. Here, every time that you will buy a package in India, okay, it's actually one of the unique country in the world that is doing that, is the fast starting bonus, okay, are split in two. So it means that your sponsor, when you sponsor a new distributor, you got a part of the fast starting bonus. It means here, as an example, for the basic package is 810 rupees. Then for the new distributor in the team, you will have this amount. Okay? It means that the real price of the pack is 16,700 less, and then it's here the real price. Okay, so you can see. So here it's 16% on the individual package, which is really interesting. Then if you go here, it's the same things, but the real price will be 13.3. I think that you can help me with the number, please.
I will help you. So basically, the first pack will end up being, scroll up a little bit, Étienne, please.
Yeah.
So the first pack will be, once you get the rebate of 810 rupees from 16,700, it gives you a real price of 15,890 rupees. You have 16% savings of the individual products if you bought all the products individually. The second pack will give you an extra thing that the first one doesn't do. It gives you a Pearl payment for 60 days. So someone might say, okay, you get 13% discount on the more expensive pack. You get 16% on the first pack. Why would I get less savings on the second pack? The reason is the statement in green that Étienne highlighted. You get to be paid as a Pearl for 60 days. What does being paid as a Pearl mean? Is that when someone cycles, you get a check match. So when they make $35, all the people that you personally sponsor, so let's say you sponsor 10 people, and each of them cycle one time, and they make $35, okay? You will get paid 20%. You'll get paid $7 every time they make 35. That is what you get if you're a Jade. If you're a Pearl, you touch one level deeper. That means that all these 10 people, if they sponsor 10 people, and that would mean you have 100 people on your second level. This is not binary. This is unilevel, right? So you get 100 people second level. You get paid 15% from those people every time they make $35. Normally, you need to have achieved the level of Pearl to get paid on those commissions. Right now, if you get the Supreme Pack, you get paid on that from day one. So you get extra pay, plus you get extra travel points to the sponsor also. So that's why it might be a bit less, but you get more because you get paid more as you build the business. it is a good reward for people that build the business. If you're not going to build the business, obviously these packs don't make as much sense. They do maybe for resale, but in regards, you're better off getting the 16% saving, or you're better off getting the jumbo package here, where you get 3 bottles of Luminesse, the serum, 3 bottles of the day cream, 2 jars of the day cream, 2 of the night repair, 2 cleansers, 2 skin brighteners, 2 boxes of Ageless, your Sapphire for 90 days. That means you get paid a third level. At that point in time, 10% on your third level. Whenever they cycle $35, you make $3.50. You get that right away when you buy the jumbo pack. It is 67,000 Indian rupees. If you do that individually, it would cost you 77,640. But the fast start bonus is 6,500 rupees back to you. So when you take 67,000 minus 6,500, you now have 60,500 rupees is the actual real price of the pack for you, which is a discount of 23% of buying the products individually. So this is the most beneficial pack here in regards to discount. Now, the other one that you get is the ambassador pack, is that for the jumbo, you get paid as a Sapphire for 90 days. At the ambassador pack, you get paid for 180 days. So you get paid for 6 months as ambassador. That means as Sapphire, that means you touch 3 levels of check match. People you sponsor, you make 20%. People they sponsor, you make 15. People they sponsor, you make 10% for 6 months. Normally, you would have to be Sapphire. Now, there's some people that will go Sapphire in their first month in Jeunesse, and for them, it makes no difference. But if you go Sapphire in your first month, you probably want to get a pack like the Ambassador pack that has more products, 5 bottles of serum, 3 bottles of day cream, 2 jars of the night repair, 3 tubes of the cleanser, 3 bottles of the skin brightener, 2 boxes of Ageless, 25 travel points to the sponsor. This is supporting the support of the sponsor. So if you look at the details on that one, it's 92,000 Indian rupees, individually 103. With the discount that you get as a fast start bonus, the actual price is 83,879 rupees, still a 19% discount, which is close to the 23%, but for 3 months longer, you will get paid as a Sapphire. So you're going to get more check match, more money, and of course, that 90% will be a lot higher.
Exactly.
So that is important to know.
And if you want to sell retail, that's also really interesting, because the MRP with the individual price, when you buy it as a distributor, okay, and then you want to sell retail, it's 20% more. So it means it's 20% plus 19% or plus 23%. So that gives you around 40% of margin, which is really interesting if you want to do retail sell.
Exactly. So that's really our benefits. Go ahead, Vivek.
It's actually close to 50% of what you're paying, what you're going to eventually make on it.
Yes, correct. Correct. Exactly. Very good.
So that was regarding the package. Okay, so I will go through this document to do some modification to put everything in English, because I've put some things in French. So we will go through it, Pierre and I and Sylvie. So to make sure that everything is fine on that, okay? And then I will share it, let's say tomorrow, your morning, so you can have all the details regarding the packages, okay?
Good. Thank you, Chen. Thank you.
Could you also elaborate a little bit more on the travel points?
Yes. You want me to do that, Étienne? Do you want to do that?
Go ahead for that.
Sure. So travel points, when there are contests in Jeunesse, and there's contests every year in regards to travel, in regards to you and your team traveling. So I remember last year we went to Mexico with, actually Sylvie was there, I think last year or the year before, I can't remember.
In LA also.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. And of course, I was there. And 25 people were with us. And the company paid for all of that trip, the flight, the hotels, the everything. 5-star hotel on the water. It was amazing. And you qualify for that by certain results that you get. And part of that includes travel points. So you need a minimum of a certain amount of travel points, and then the number of cycles, for example, you might have accomplished. Or there's different ways to win, which makes it really interesting. So the travel points that you get are important going towards you winning the contest. You may need a minimum of 50 or 100 travel points, for example, to be able to access the contest. So those are,
Okay.
yeah. So the way you access those travel points is certain packs that people in your organization get, you get certain travel points linked to that.
Thank you.
No problem, no problem. So guys, thanks a lot, Étienne, for the packs. Thanks for the work. By the way, Étienne did all the work in calculating all the details of it, so that's really appreciated. We're gonna pass that document once it's totally finalized to everyone, but we wanted you to hear it first here. Something I wanted to cover, there's things that we're going to talk a bit about leadership right now, and we're going to talk about John Maxwell course. We're going to talk about EmpowerU team. So that's what I wanted to take maybe the next 10 minutes to talk about. Don't want to take too much of anybody's time, but want to make sure that we cover a few key things. First thing that is important to understand, and this is recorded so people will be able to understand this, is the way that you build your team in regards to the binary aspect of the Jeunesse Commission Plan. So there's 6 ways to get paid in Jeunesse. The binary plan is one way of that. And the leadership bonuses is another one, of course, in regards to the check match that you get, so that we just talked about. So if you want to have the right terminology, one way it's called unilevel, which is people you personally sponsor, that they sponsor, and that they sponsor, and you get paid on that as they cycle themselves. And then there's creating your own cycles through the binary plan. So in the binary plan, you have 2 legs that you need to build. And it's important that you're going to get help with one of those, but you have 2 legs to build. It is not one leg I have to build and I don't have to build another one. The binary does not work if that's the case. So how do you want to sponsor people is important, because you need to contribute to what is called the power leg or the outside leg. What is that leg? That is the leg, one of your 2 legs is the leg that people above you can sponsor. And so you want to identify which leg that is. And what you want to do in that situation is normally, in average, the way you're going to do this is you contribute always 1/4 of your volume to there and 3/4 to your inside leg. That is how it's been laid out in the Jeunesse Commission Plan. To be able to go Sapphire, you need 3 people in one leg, minimum 9 in the other. 1/4 of 12 is 3, and you need to put that in your spillover leg. Some people will look and they'll say, wow, I have a great spillover leg. I'm not going to put people there. You're forgetting the ones that are at the bottom of that leg. And you need to contribute, because these people are what are contributing to your leg. So they're contributing 3/4. The least you can do is contribute 1/4. So you put 1/4 there, 3/4 on the inside. That continues the development of the power leg. If you do not do that, if you put everybody in your inside leg, you're not working as a team player, and it doesn't work in the binary very well. So that's important to remember, that you put 1/4 and 3/4 as you launch. Later on, once your spillover leg is 10 million points, we'll talk about it at that point. That's not as important. But there's a point where until you accumulate certain points, it is very important. It is your responsibility. It'll slide down over time, and you won't need to do that over time. But at the beginning, it is crucial, because we work as a team. The binary, the benefit of the binary is teamwork, is the fact that people underneath you that you don't even know, that you're probably not even going to work with potentially, will help you generate more revenue. But you need to contribute to that. You need to contribute to that. So 1/4 and then 3/4. That makes a remarkably strong payout plan. You'll still make all the check match, don't forget, of the people that you put on your spillover leg. You still make check match on those individuals, and you're contributing to all the others that are helping you not to have to build 2 legs entirely, right? So that is the thing to remember. It is teamwork when it comes to the binary. It's what I love about the plan. You need to work together. You need to contribute. So all the people underneath, that have been sponsored underneath you by the upline, then you need to contribute to those people also. So you're contributing to them, they're contributing to you. It creates a great team synergy. So people often wonder, and they often ask, how much do I put on my left? How much do I put on my right? And by the way, your spillover leg or your power leg or your outside leg, these are all the same words for the same leg, which is the leg where people above you can place people. You would do a quarter in average, a quarter there and 3/4 on the other leg, which is often called your personal or inside leg. Any questions on that, guys? Is that pretty clear? So go Sapphire, put 3 people on one side, 9 on the other, you're good to go. That's pretty simple. That's very straightforward. And that's going to be in the EmpowerU team guidance principles. That's super important. After that, the next part is really about leadership. And it's interesting. One of the biggest things that when Christine and I were with John Maxwell for a day, and he was able to share material that he shared with nobody during that day. So it was really an amazing day to be able to participate with him, to get to meet him, to work together. One of the biggest things that he talked about was the 20-80 rule. Now, I don't remember the name of the person. There's a name, the person that came out with the 20-80 rule. And the 20-80 rule, because it states this, he said a lot of people call themselves leaders, but at the end of the day, it's in action and result that it comes down, not in talk. And so the 20%, the biggest mistakes that is made is that people believe that, the 20-80 rule means that 20% of the people in your business, in average, will generate 80% of the results. Just the way it is. You'll probably notice also, and I've certainly noticed this over the years, that the people that are in your business, that are strongest leaders, often require and call you less. If ever they're developing their building. Know why they don't call you as often? Because they're busy building. Don't get me wrong. You want to do great synergy, and they're going to synergize and maximize the cooperation. But they're out there, they're doing the work. Now, the 80% will often absorb a lot more of your time. They're going to call you. There's always problems. There's always issues. It's just the way, and they don't believe they can either resolve them or anything like that. There's more issues. And what happens most of the time is we spend 80% of our time there. Don't. Biggest mistake. You want to spend 80% of your time in the 20% that don't really need you. You want to succeed in business? That's the way to do it. I'm not saying not to take, you're going to take some time for the 80%. But what a lot of people will do is they will die with the 80%. They will take so much time. And what happens with the 20%? Well, they know that they're worth it. They know that they're generating the most results with you. So you want to make sure you're available. You want to make sure you build a relationship with them. You want to make sure you support well, all right? You want to make sure you're in communication, that all that synergy happens within the group. So that's one thing that is super important. Look at who's getting the job done. That's what the 20% is all about. And then after that, move forward. It's up to people. It's up. Nobody's going to work with me. I remember having conversation with the upline and corporate jeunesse and all that. Volume is king. They're going to see who's getting, at the end of the day, I can talk a good talk, but either I'm going to be able to generate results and I'm not. And if I'm not, it is 100% my responsibility. Bottom line, end of conversation, everything good. I saw another personal developer. It was actually a really good coach. She's a lot in Hollywood and all that, but she's a very straight shooter. She said, you know what, here's the bad news. Everything good in your life is probably your fault, and everything bad is probably your fault too. So here's the bad news.
Absolutely.
Things that can happen. So now, let's work together in bringing that up. So on the John Maxwell, what I want to announce is that there is a free seminar coming up. We're going to post that. Christine, I think, has already sent information out on that. And it's a free seminar. It's going to happen on the 10th of August. It's at 2:30 in the morning your time. So forget about you do not have to attend live. Once you register, you have 72 hours to view. Because we calculated, oh my gosh, it's 2:30 in the morning in India. I'm not going to do that. So it's a free seminar. You can have a look at it. If you want to do it, it's great. And there's going to be at the end, at some point in time, there's going to be possibilities to join a 12-week training course on leadership with John Maxwell. There'll be a fee for that. We generate 20%. There's a kickback of 20% to us. We give that back to EmpowerU team. We give it back to our organization. We're going to use it for promotions inside our team. So that's the way that we told the Maxwell team we were going to do it. They said, what do you want to do with the 20%? Well, we're gonna give it back to our team. So we're gonna do it. And so who's gonna get it? We're gonna do promotions for people that are sapphires and below, right? Not sapphires, not above sapphires, but sapphires and below. We're gonna do contests in regards to volume generation, in regards to going up in levels, and they're gonna win prizes out of that. So we're using the leadership training of John Maxwell. So it's a free session. You're going to see it. I think it's 60 minutes. It's great. You'll hear Christine and I also in regards to, you can join Christine's link or my link. We both give 2 laws. And so it doesn't matter which link you take. The presentation on the 10th is the same presentation. But then on the full course, then we're involved with John Maxwell in doing that. John Maxwell has written over 100 leadership manuals. He's been at many conventions of network marketing companies, but has never had a program for network marketers until now. And so probably the most known leadership trainer in the world today, certainly very respected. And so he will be available and now have a course really specific to network marketing leaders. So we're going to send some information. Etienne, we're going to advertise that on WhatsApp and all that, make sure that people know about that. And that is on the leadership development, because at the end of the day, like John Maxwell says all the time, business rises and falls with leadership. Your business will rise and fall with the development of our character, the development of our ability to serve well. Serve well means being aware of what works and what does not work. And so a lot of what I love about network marketing is our growth, including my own. As we move forward, I was looking for the next mentor I would have in regards to going, and John Maxwell will be key within my life to be able to move that forward. He's not the only one. He's one of many that I learned from. And I believe, as he said too, that when you stop growing, you stop leading. You know, it's good to know what you know, but to continue moving forward simply helps the entire team. I have more to share, I have more to contribute, and I think I can serve better. And at the end of the day, that is leadership. It starts and ends with service. So that was going to be available now. Also, I wanted to share with EmpowerU team. Now, there's an exciting development that's happening with EmpowerU team, because we've been in communication now with Mark Yazunevsky. I'm actually doing a call with him and Christine tomorrow, with him and his wife. Mark Yazunevsky has the title of the world's laziest networker. I don't like the word laziest. It's actually the most efficient is what he meant to say. He said, I don't like to waste time. I like to be efficient. He's been in a multitude of companies. He's with no companies right now. He trains thousands of people worldwide in network marketing. The combination, the fusion of sales and building a network, the ability to fuse both. And Christine and I said from the beginning, network marketing is based on sales, but people need to know how to approach people about that. How do you do that? How do you build a network? He also has some personal growth aspect linked to Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. And he worked with the trainer that really worked with Napoleon Hill. So he's got a lot of knowledge, amazing knowledge over the decades. He's written some books. And he has a 90-day launch plan that normally costs quite a few $100s. What we're going to have here is when we launch EmpowerU Team, and we're finalizing that, EmpowerU Team might be something like, we're going to keep it super inexpensive, $9 a month or something like that. What we're working out with him, we're not all detailed completely, but it's almost there, is that we'll be able to inside the $9 someone's going to pay, they'll have the 90-day plan. That is one where there's modules after modules, what to learn to get started on a daily basis for 90 days. And what we're going to do with him, because we're thinking, Christina and I, do we develop our own content? And it's crazy because Mark has such great content. He works very closely with Big Al Schreider. For the ones that have not been in MLM too long, Big Al Schreider is oh my God, he's a known entity, probably the best wordsmith in regards to how to say the message, which words to use have the best impact. When you talk with someone, you have a certain intention. It's not manipulative. It's understanding that your words have impact. And if you want to have the right impact, well, you need to say the right words. And so they work very closely together. They're very strong partners. And so everybody in our team, we're going to enroll that, and everybody in our team will have access to those 90 days within the EmpowerU team. So that is a value of hundreds of dollars for peanuts, really. And so we're excited about that. And what we will do with him is we will adjust, we will add things that are jeunesse specific in regard to how to approach people when you're—
Excuse me, Pierre, sorry to disturb you.
Pardon me? We'll take questions at the end. Hold on one sec. We'll take questions at the end. We'll take questions at the end, Galaxy One.
Mr. Pierre, I'm sorry to disturb you.
Yeah, no problem. We'll talk afterwards. So that's going to happen and that's going to be launched in September. And so what we're going to do in EmpowerU team, all the money that's generated in EmpowerU team goes back to sapphires and below through contests. Everybody that gets results will generate more revenue. They'll win trips. They'll win incentives that we're going to do within our own organization, which by default will move to higher levels. The higher levels, they get paid plenty. They get paid plenty of money. We're going to be very transparent about this. It's going to be known by all the leaders in regards to the funds that will come, and it will be utilized to support the growth of— there's no leaders above Sapphire. They'll generate revenue out of that. It'll be totally for the people that are developing jeunesse within our organization. So we're excited about having that in place. That's going to be all launched. There's still lots of work to do, but we're going to plan on launching that when we are in India at the end of September. So the things are coming right now from a leadership aspect. We'll send you the link for John Maxwell, and we're going to share the information about EmpowerU team as it advances. So we've done a bit of a shift there in regards to how we're going to redistribute, and there's been a consensus of all the leadership distributed to all the people that are really launching below Sapphire Elite. Those are the ones that need the funds to grow, to travel, to do all the work, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to do it through contests so that they can win the awards and the travels that they deserve. So we're going to be doing that. There'll be special incentives in regards to trainings they're going to get, a whole bunch of things like that that are going to be put in place. So now I'll take questions. Étienne, anything to add, Étienne, to that?
No, pretty complete.
All right, guys, and we're excited about doing it here. Any questions right now? Comments? Vivek, you good?
It's all good.
No, it's all good.
Only good news.
It's all good. So you've seen the advert, you've seen the messages about the products and when they're coming, step by step. They're just being cleared right now, so we expect details very shortly when they will be ready to order. I know there was some posting on the
Mr. Harvey,
page.
excuse me.
Yeah. Yes.
Excuse me, Mr. Harvey.
Yeah, we hear you.
I'm sorry. At what date are you launching in the Bangalore?
I'll talk to you afterwards. We'll talk after the call. We'll talk about that.
Bangalore will be launched in the same day that the other market in India. Okay, so we will get back to you regarding the events that we will do in Bangalore for sure, John.
Yeah.
We will get back to you about the events.
We don't have it right now, but it will be launched in Bangalore at the same time as national. It will be available everywhere for sure.
Here, any news on reserve?
Reserve is still set for September. I'm going to find out about from Anshu more details, or Suresh, on that.
Yeah. So
Every time I ask Etienne also, he's telling I'm going to ask Anshu.
no. So I have the update. Till yesterday actually. So there is no update about the reserve. It's supposed to be in September. It's what Anshu is saying. So let's see.
I just got a message from Anshu saying we're going to talk with him probably tomorrow. He has to check a few things in regards to those at that product side there with Jeunesse Global. And he didn't even know it was up. So he said, okay, let me just double check things and I'll get back to you on that. So we talked about price discrepancy a little bit and all that. There's little things that will be adjusted as things are launched here.
Regarding the GST and all those little...
Exactly. Yeah.
Yes, Vivek.
May I add something here to the product launch and the data product launch?
Sure.
We all need to understand that whenever a product is being imported into a country, and for the first time, there are lots of clearances. There are lots of for some products there's some testing which happens, and a lot of these things which the government agencies are responsible for. So we actually can't say when the exact date as to when this will happen. We all know how governments, and especially in our country, works, Dr. Suresh. So we will only know once it's actually done. I had this experience in the past when my last company we were launching. In fact, after the launch, when the second lot of products had to be imported in, and that thing got delayed by close to 6 months. So out of 60 products, we were out of stock for 55 of them for 6 months because the government clearances were not given. So I'm sure things are much better now. That was 20 years back. So we need to have our fingers crossed and just hope that everything happens, very smoothly.
The sample of reserve took really, but not much of a time. The sample of one box which came from Dubai took around 15 days. No, maximum 20 days. It got cleared. But the only problem was it was declared as skincare.
Yeah, that was shipping from Dubai. What Vivek is talking about, Suresh, is that the first bunch of products that are being shipped, this is the first shipment, there'll be testing on it. There'll be things like that are happening. It normally takes, they've been told 15 days. So that's why they're on hold, right? But Vivek is right that that's a bit out of the hand. It is out of the hands of Jeunesse in regards to exactly. That's why they keep saying it's going to be between mid-August to the end of August is when it's going to be. But we cannot say the exact date because we don't know once it's going to be completed. But that is still what they're being told at this time. So at this point in time, we'll leave that that's the case. Good.
Great. Is there any other question, guys?
All right, everybody. Well, have an awesome evening, and I have a great Raksha Bandhan day.
Wow.
I'm gonna have to call my brother and ask him why he doesn't call me more often. I'm gonna say, listen, if you're in India, you'd have no choice, buddy. This would be an obligation here, pretty much.
You know what? My sister is coming back of a trip of 3 months, and she's coming back today. So Raksha Bandhan to my sister also.
You have to give her buckers. You know that. You have to give her money. You have to give her.
You better go and buy a nice gift for her.
Yeah.
I'll do that. You know what? I'll do that.
We're going on a family get-together right now, so I'm going to do that, Étienne. I'm going to do that.
Wonderful.
And she will tie a Raksha Bandhan on your hand, and you have to give her whatever you have in your wallet. Okay. Make sure you have at least minimum $1,500.
I like the way you're thinking today.
That's a good.
Don't give her $1, $2. Symbolic. Don't say, oh, this is symbolic. Brothers' love is symbolic. No.
And
Brothers' love should be huge.
And tomorrow morning, Dr. Suresh is actually going to be sending her an email to recruit her with all the money in the pocket.
She's the one of the first that joined with me, so she's
see, and see, nobody,
executive.
Étienne doesn't allow it. He doesn't introduce anybody other than he is already in his team. Then he makes sure only he will introduce, or else he will never give a chance to anybody to get at least see. Okay, join me. No, I'm already in Étienne's group. You talk about Charles Fizet, you talk about anybody, all of them are behind Étienne and Pierre. Gaudet only.
Well, that's why they are on the call.
And on that note, guys, we will we'll wish you a very good evening. Also, a happy Raksha Bandhan Day, and we will talk very, very shortly. We'll be in communication this week, everyone, to get a lot of the details resolved on the trip of Juan Carlos.
Yeah.
And any new information, of course, that we get in your way right away.
Just before finishing this call, just to let you know, on Wednesday, it is Mr. Vivek Nigam that is doing the presentation again. So make sure, guys, that you're bringing the people that you care about on this call. Okay? It's important at this moment that you bring your family, your mother, your sister, your brother to this call so they can see what you're doing, okay? And they can see the opportunity that is presenting to yourself, and you can share it with the people that you care about. Let me share just one thing before we are finishing this call. Sylvie introduced to my father, Janas. Then my father introduced me to Janas. Okay, it took 1 year before I took my decision, and then we were all together. Then I introduced this business to my sister. So all the people that I already care about, we are all together. So, and the power of being in a family, the power of having people that you care about in this business is the most powerful thing. Look at Pierre, who is with Christine. Look at certain people that are on the top. They are often with their wife, with their sister, with their family, because they have all the same mission. So that was just to finish this call.
Very good, very good message on today on Raksha Bandhan Day. Very good.
Oh, Sylvie introduced Senior Gillard, is it? I never knew that.
What did you say, Suresh?
No, Senior Gillard. Senior Gillard introduced you, or
Senior
you introduced?
Gillard, he's just right next to me now. Senior Gillard. I introduced him to Jeunesse.
Wow.
That's correct. That's correct.
So that's
but
awesome, nah? So if not for you, we wouldn't have got Étienne, yeah. Our Étienne is a what you call live wire as far as India is concerned. You see, all girls know. She is what you call LinkedIn friendship. All girls only, yeah. Yeah, wherever I go, they know about Étienne. Whenever I talk about Janus Global, oh, we have got one guy in. We have a friend connection in Canada, and see before we enter into Indian market, he has entered into Indian market, done a pakka survey.
It's good. You can say you're working with
Dr. Suresh. Dr. Suresh, remember, no territories.
Yeah, that's what I say. See, for that only, see, he is a person. Not like, I don't find anybody other than Étienne is doing this.
Yeah.
This is why we are working all together, guys. So we have all our stretch. So let's all work together. Okay.
Got it, my friends. Have a good evening, everybody. We'll talk soon.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening to all of you.
Take care.
Bye.